Yeah, so I would say let's just jump right into the first match because we talked a lot. It's of course going to be Via versus Alish. What do you think? We will see Miracle Rogues or Handlocks or Druids
Uh,
because yeah, Miracle Rogues are up and coming.
Probably Miracle Rogues handlocks a lot, since eSuba likes to play Warlock and Planetkey plays a lot of Miracle Rogue. Via is an exceptional good player. He has some really nice deck ideas, so we might see something different. And Alish is just a funny guy that plays what he likes. So we saw a Shaman deck with double Farsight already from him in competitive tournaments. So I'm expecting everything in this matchup, and I would say let's start the game here. And
Could be Deathwing.
it could be Deathwing in his Druid. It's for Via, a Miracle Rogue, and a Druid for Alish.
But it's a Pyromancer Rogue.
Well, Pyromancer Rogue is good against Rush,
Yeah.
but as we see here for Alesh, it's mid-range, maybe really rampy Druid. We do not know by now.
Even Acolyte of Pain. That's interesting. We haven't seen Acolyte of Pain in a Miracle Rogue for a long time.
Yeah, last week we had those Miracle Rogues, but with Grimscale Oracle, always a Loot Hoarder plus Azure Drake. And those are the version we saw more and more. But still, the Acolyte of Pain version is working. Especially, let's say, if he drops his Harvest Golem and is not willing to use his Raz, he will definitely draw one card or two cards of his minion. So he even redraws the Raz for Alish. And what do you think in this matchup? So some mid-range Rampy Druid versus Rogue? Who has the upper hand?
Well, against the Miracle Rogue, it depends on the amount of taunts on the Druid. Like, and if the Rogue can get his combo soon enough. Like, turn 9, he's most likely gonna be dead. If he can kill him before turn 8, he has chances. I think a normal Ramp Druid is harder for the Rogue, since he only has 2 saps. But a Token Druid is definitely doable.
We see some crazy stuff in Via's hand here at the moment. He could go turn 2, coin, preparation, eviscerate, and drop an 8/8 Van Cleave if he likes. But against a Druid, it's always risky. So if you do it, there's a big Game Hunter, you're screwed. If you
Well,
do
that's
it,
the only thing.
and silence.
Silence,
So
yeah.
Keeper of the
Yeah,
Grove would also
Keepers.
be. But still, if he manages to pull off the 8/8 and then follow up with a Conceal next turn, that would be save 16 damage overall. That would be crazy. If he's really going for it, I would be happy to see it. But after the white grows, he needs to look out. So we're
You could
now.
already, get silenced by a Keeper, as you already said. All the big Game Hunter potential is obviously there.
But there are no.
I mean, you could go Prep, Eviscerate, and Van Cleave. That way, he would get a 6/6, and he couldn't get big Game Hunter,
So if you
but
go,
still silenced.
yeah, but if he goes prep or with the rate, he needs to coin to get Van Cleave out.
True,
So-
yeah,
so-
he's season 2 mana, yeah, I completely missed that one.
In turn 3, just prep, eviscerate Van Cleave,
Yeah.
and the 6/6 plus coin
Then
conceal.
I would just, I think it's rather risky.
Well, it's risky, but as we know in Alish Sand, there's no silence, so it will be.
Oh, he still goes for the 6/6 and
Well,
then just conceals him.
That's a good play, but I would have gone for the 8/8 straight. This is a safe play, but it could still be the annoying play.
We see Alish has an Ancient of War. That's really nice against the Miracle Rogue.
But it's gonna take him a long time to play it. The only good thing is that swipe in his hand, so the Harvest Golem will most likely stay alive. I don't see, so he can deadly poison kill it, but it will be that 2/1 minion, which is enough together with a swipe to get rid of the Van Cleave. He deals 6 damage. That's good. But next turn he's getting swiped.
He lost so many cards for that.
Well, he lost so many cards, but as we see, the swipe is there for Alish. But if he swipes, there will be one card drawn for Via, a second card potentially drawn to. That's well, he can use Starfall, which is better than using swipe here. But still, he will draw those cards since there's
2 at least.
Yeah, there's that 2/1 now, and he can just get his cards. And this is looking okay for Via, especially with Blade Flurry, Deadly Poison, plus Azure Drake. So he can not only Blade Flurry and Selness.
Wow.
So even more card draw.
You could Selness Eviscerate.
He could Salnus Eviscerate or just get his weapon if he wants to keep his Eviscerate for taunt minion. So there are those 4 6-out taunts that could be upcoming. It's turn 5. Everything is possible. For 6 mana, there could be, oh, Karen. Okay, Deadly Poison in the face. It's possible just to rush him down. So he's down to 21. If there's a big Taunta coming, you need Sap. Wow, that Keeper is super annoying.
Well, Eviscerate as well. Silence, nice.
Yeah, silent and kill.
Well, he still got 1 card off and killed a minion, so it's not like the Keeper just screwed him over completely.
No, that's true. He could go for Salnus Blade Fury now, if he wants to. That would be exactly 4 damage, but it would be kind of overreactive. You want to get out your Azure Drake and then follow up with Salnus and do a 6 damage Eviscerate. That's what you secretly every time want to do. But as we see, there's that swipe, for example, you're not getting, like, your Azure Drake will not survive. Or he's just going for Ancient of War. So there are some possibilities here. Maybe heal up yourself with Ancient of Lore too.
Heal up? You would go for the heal up?
If I play Ancient of Lore, definitely go for the heal up. You're on 21. That's quite not so much if a Leroy is coming.
Well, Leroy is... 1 prep is used, so the maximum amount of damage is 4, 7, 12. Prep Eviscerate or prep Cold Blood.
There's Leroy.
It's
First
barely,
of all,
barely enough.
the thing is, you don't need any more cards at the moment. You got your Testango, you got Ancient of Lore, you got Ancient of War. So you do not need 100% card draw. You rather go for life. That's what I'm thinking about. For Via now, well, he's screwed. He wants to have Sap. He could play Salnus. If he goes Salnus Blade Flurry, that's a 5 damage Blade Flurry. Combined with Weapon Up again, attack and run his Azure Drake in, he could kill it. Or
he could Salnus, Eviscerate and trade the Azure Drake.
Yeah, I really didn't want to... he could also Salnus Eviscerate Blade Flurry and just kill it right off the spot and go 4 in the face, so that would be 8 damage in the face. No, that would be even 5 damage, 9 damage in the face total in the end. But it, like, you wasted 3 cards again.
Well, you cleared 2 minions and a big taunt.
That's correct.
The problem is he would lose all his spell cards, so his draw potential is non-existent right now. He has an Acolyte of Pain, true, but he can't play his Auctioneer efficiently. And yeah, as you already said, he just went for the 8 to the face and cleared the board.
Well, the best thing about this play is you're not getting more value of your Blade Flurry. So you did a 5 damage Blade Flurry in total with 2 times spell damage. That's it. You're not gonna get 2 spell damage minions out again. Both are dead. And he gets even a Shiv with his Auctioneer together. That's super nice. And a Cold Blood. This is getting better and better. He could just drop his Auctioneer, Shiv the Testango. I would shift the Testango actually, because if you ran in, or if you run in your minion next turn, you're just getting cards. He decides.
That's what I expected.
You expected him going for the Acolyte?
Yeah.
Well, it's the same play. He draws 2 cards, but he has only a 1/2 minion out and not a 4/4 minion.
That's true, but he can still equip his weapon.
If he knew that he draws a second Auctioneer, he would have played his Auctioneer.
The Auctioneer, of course.
But he didn't. Well, he couldn't know.
You can't risk it, basically.
That's correct. He got his Eviscerate. That's a good thing. So if he attacks with a weapon, or that minion attacks his Acolyte of Pain, he can just Eviscerate him away next turn. That's good. And he already has Leroy, Cold Blood, well, followed up by Eviscerate if he wants to. So 10 damage is sure in his hand for the face. What would you go for? Like Scenarios now, if you were Alish? Or would you maybe heal up yourself and armor up once? What's your thought here?
I would go for Scenarios.
Just get 2 more Tauntas?
Well, the thing is, you know, there's already 1 Blade Flurry used. You don't know if he runs 2 or not. There are Fan of Knives, but there's barely any spell damage. You haven't seen Seps yet, and you have 3 taunts on the field, so I would most definitely go for Scenarios, and yeah.
Well, we got the first Fan of Knives. That's good. If you assume he would go Fan of Knives combined with Deadly Poison, he could kill the Testango, but there's still those 2/1 trees, so he might go Fan of Knives and just kill one of those trees slowly. For example, go Auctioneer, Fan of Knives, and then just attack with your weapon one of the trees. You kind of need to draw as many cards as possible now.
Ooh, rear.
Or Shadow Step, the first. He might even Shadow Step his own Auctioneer. Second Fan of Knives,
nice.
that's extremely good. So if he decides it's maybe just stop now. And next turn go double Fan of Knives, so you can deal you could even double Fan of Knives plus Leroy plus weapon. If you have a preparation for Cold Blood, that's enough to win.
Double Fan of Knives plus Leroy? No.
Oh no, you're like 1 mana short. I'm sorry. Well, if you prep the Fan of Knives, then it works.
If you get a prep.
Yeah, you kind of need a
He
prep
only has Shadow Step.
for what I'm planning in my brain. So it's okay what he has here. Even if the game goes longer, if your enemy is not running Force of Nature Roar, a Force of Nature Roar with this board, that would be 9 damage plus 14 plus another 6. That would be lethal. But Alish has none. So he has more Taunters, that's good. But it still feels like he's going to... Well, he's close to death. I expect to see... Well, I would heal up myself by 5. Or maybe drop it. I'm not sure. You could also drop your Testingo just to have another silence out. Another taunt out. That's not a silence.
Armor yourself up.
Yeah. That would have been maybe the better move, but not sure. Oh, there's the White Pyromancer. We get some nice value of it.
Ooh.
Even White Pyromancer, Fan of Knives.
It's not enough.
Well, it clears at least the 2. So we can double Fan of Knives, but White Pyromancer, Fan of Knives is actually less expensive. And he gets a minion out, which needs to be killed next turn. So he avoids getting some damage too. He could double Fan of Knife.
With Wild Pyromancer to get rid of the scenarios?
Yeah, no, I was thinking about he could double Fan of Knives without White Pyromancer. That would work also. But I just prefer having that White Pyromancer out. Even if he, swipes your face. But if he attacks with a 5-5 or with scenarios, a 5-2, then he at least gets rid of a minion and avoids 5 damage. And I mean, he's on 23 HP. He needs to watch out too that he's not getting surprisingly burned down in the end. Even an SI7 agent, that's some value. So he can not only get rid of scenarios, he could clear the complete board if he really wants to. If he's willing to commit with a weapon, or just 2 in the face with Shadow Step and Cold Blood and Leroy, you would maybe go for 2 in the face with SI7 agent, but it's still risky if there's another Taunter.
I would kill scenarios.
He would kill scenarios with a Fan of Knives. Well, you can
No, I would kill him with an SI7.
So he clears a complete board, what we're talking about, and Alish is kind of screwed. So there is 3-1, a 3-3 minion against him, and he has no swipe left. This is looking really a big game hunter.
Did he use 2?
He used at least...
I think he used 1.
1 in the
there
rest.
should be 1 left in the stack.
Oh, he can at least... Oh, I'm surprised. I thought he's maybe going for Faceless Manipulator to get out 2 Taunters. Still, he's kind of screwed now.
Kinda.
So he's on 15. Isn't that if you Cold Blood your minion and just double Leroy, it's GG, correct?
Yep.
You just
Yep.
Yeah. You just Cold Blood.
You just play Leroy, Cold Blood, your SI7, then you Shadow Step Leroy, play him again, attack with your weapon, and it's over.
Or like this. It doesn't matter how he does it. So he just goes double Leroy, Shadow Step, Cold Blood, win. No, that's the other way, but he could have won 2 different ways. I just liked the other play better because you would have dealt exactly 5 damage with the Cold Blood, and you would have done exactly 15. So that would be a point landing, as we like to say it. It's
Hashtag point landing.
Yes.
Damn Germans.
Feel free to quote. So 1-0 for Via here. Merker Rogue does it once again, but we saw an Acolyte of Pain Merker Rogue, which is actually a riskier version. I mean, if you go Azure Drake, you draw a card. If you go Loot Hoarder, you most of the times draw a card too.
He had Azure Drakes.
Yeah, he had an Azure Drake too. So he had Acolytes of Pain plus Azure Drakes. He didn't have Grimscale Oracles.
Well, you have 3 options basically. Like almost everyone is running Azure Drake nowadays, but you can choose if you play a Loot Hoarder. That's one option. Cult like Oracle. That's kind of good against some hand locks, especially because you can burn cards. Or what's another option? Of course, Acolyte.
Yeah.
But you see, like, Loot Hoarder and Cold Light Oracle are kind of the same. Like, not the same play-wise, but like how many people play it. And Acolyte of Pain is just really...
It's annoying
it's really rare.
if it gets silenced, for example, or shock, then you're kind of screwed. But, well, that was the first game. Alish lost, and we're ready to go into the next one. And Alish has his Hunter and a Rogue himself prepared. I'm rooting here for his Hunter. If you go full face mode, it might be that you're winning. If you go Sunshine, you're actually in a slight disadvantage from my position. But, well, full face Hunter could carry this away if we see one.
Yep. Let's just jump right into it and check it out. It's full face Hunter.
Well, we see that double arcane shot and an Eaglehorn bow, so it should be full face Hunter.
Some Sunshine run Eaglehorn bow, but you never see Sunshine nowadays. It's just like at DreamHack 80% played Sunshine Hunter, then there was the Unleash the Hounds nerf, and everyone is like, nope, no Hunter anymore.
Well, we see a Stone Tusk Boar in his deck, so that's kind of unusual too for Sunshine.
Well, it's good though if you... because you wanna rush, and it's not only against rogues, so he can get rid of any taunt with a Stone Tusk War Hunter's Mark combo, and he doesn't need to use a Wolf Rider, for example.
I agree there with you, but I'm still, in my opinion, the Hunter has a slight advantage. I'm just rooting here for the Hunter with a slight advantage. He can just deal so much damage in a short time, but Via has his Acolyte of Pain, not only Acolyte of Pain, he has his Wild Pyromancer, so Wild Pyromancer backstab is some crazy thing that clears the board actually. Oh, and what are you going to do with an Acolyte of Pain now? Just bow him down, waste 3 damage you could deal in the face, or go Boar plus Abusive Sergeant? That just hurts if you even talk about those plays. You really don't want to do him, because they're like, you lose damage, you really want to do in his face. Well, you need to bow him, or he just draws.
Yeah, of course. You either bow him, or you go... For example, another play would have been going for Buzzard, Stone Tusk, and then the Hunters mark him down.
It could have been 1-2. He just gets another Acolyte of Pain. That's ridiculous.
Painful.
Yeah, you could also go, as you said, Buzzard, Stone Tusk Boar, Coin, Timberwolf, something like that, just to draw 2 cards additionally.
I wouldn't have went for Timberwolf.
Yeah, you wouldn't overcommit. That's correct. Especially if he knew Via's hand. I mean, you need to be careful with Fan of Knives. There could be backstab as I7 agent, 2 minions dead also. Wild Pyromancer. He saw it actually.
He knows
there's a Wild Pyromancer in the deck. Those are 4 cards already that could be in Via's hand, and this has to go through Alish's head all the time. The next turns we're going to see from Alish is just hero ability. Maybe a flare to draw a card, but
do you think he's going to use a flare?
Well,
or keep it, because he still has the Boar Hunter's Mark combo in his hand. So I think he's going to flare the Auctioneer if it gets concealed. That is.
Yeah, that's what you want to have, because you can deconceal minions with a flare. So here we see the double card draw we're talking about. Plus Unleash, so that's a good thing. And the only question is he going to coin for SI7 agent to kill the 3/3? And that's gonna hurt so much if he actually does. But if he attacks with his bow, that bow is gone. And if there's
and
one
he doesn't
thing
have a second one yet, so...
and that just hurt.
I didn't like the play at all.
Well, it works well.
I would have went for the Buzzard, Boar, Hunter's Mark, coin out my passive, or coin out the explosive. Most likely it would have been the passive, because I know there's barely a way he's going to attack me next turn, and I can play explosive next turn regardless.
Well,
and I don't lose out on damage.
This turned out okay. In theory, now 1 Fan of Knives is gone, and you're like, okay, that's cool for me, since I can just drop my minions now. But you could get just screwed. And the only good thing is, with the explosive trap, a Merker Rogue wants to attack every turn, and if it's just that 1 damage he's doing, you're just preventing that 1 damage point, and that's a good thing. Well, it's 6 damage in the face. Even he gives him some mana, but he does 8 damage overall. 6 with a golem, 2 with his steady shot, and brings him down to 20. That's quite a good amount.
I think it's really risky.
Well, they're both going to die.
He doesn't have any follow-up yet.
Well, what could he do? Just backstab? Well, he could just he'd play Auctioneer, backstab Shiv, and draw 3 cards. Yeah. That's just madness. Well, or go Wild Pyromancer backstab, or Wild Pyromancer Shiv even.
You want to have your Auctioneer out.
Okay, you could play Wild Pyromancer, Acolyte of Pain, and then Shiv.
Yeah.
You would draw 1 card, plus 1 card from the explosion, clear the board, and have 2 minions out. And that's actually the play I prefer, because just the combo. I just like the combo of Wild Pyromancering your own minion. I mean, with the Auctioneer you draw 1 card more, but you get 2 minions on the board also. That's just a slight... Oh, he even gets a Conceal.
He won't be able to play it?
Yeah, well, if he attacks with his weapon, but he would take 2 damage unnecessarily. And there's Leroy. Plus
and
preparation. So,
wow.
What were you talking about? He cannot conceal, or you're lying to me. That's just easy mode here for Via. That's the power of Miracle Rogue, and this is the one and most annoying play that could happen to you. A concealed Auctioneer. And now you're
not against
screwed.
Flare though.
Well, even with the Flare, he needs to attack it.
Yeah, and a cane shot.
Since his hand is just crappy when it well, Wolf Rider. Oh, sadly, Timberwolf doesn't apply to Wolf Riders. Even though they're riding on a beast, which I always found confusing, that they're just an orc.
Well, it's the Wolf Rider, it's not the wolf.
Well, it should be an orc beast mashup card. That's just my opinion here. It's like the Houndmaster is not a beast too, even though he's beast themed. Well,
God damn it, Mats.
We got Deadly Poison plus Blade Flurry plus double Eviscerate. So if he plays his cards right, there could be in 1 turn Selness, double Eviscerate. That's 10 damage plus a Selness Blade Flurry. That's 14 damage just with those 4 cards. That's kind of crazy if he wants to burn 14 damage in 1 turn. And he just got Leroy. So
it's actually 17.
It's actually 17, so we got 5 plus 4. I just meant if he attacked now first. So I expect him to actually attack. Oh, he's going for Crazy Van Cleave. How many cards did he play? 1, 2?
It's not that much.
Well, it's a 6/6.
Yeah.
That's already crazy. Well, what are you what are you going to do against a 6/6 Van Cleave as a hunter now?
Hunter's Mark or die.
Well, Hunter's Mark, easy mode.
I think the problem with full face Hunter is that he runs out of pace so quickly.
I would agree there. If you don't get your Unleash, Bother, super combo off, and in a Merker Rogue, you know, there's going to be maybe 1 Van Cleave, maybe 1 Auctioneer, and then there's just Leroy, and more Leroys.
There's only a couple of cards, like minions in there, so Unleash gets hard countered by that. Like, if the full face Hunter would have played against the Zulok, for example, the match would have been way easier for him.
Absolutely, and for Via, we haven't... Just crazy hand. I mean, he could drop down his Acolyte of Pain, and that Acolyte of Pain gets card draw. Plus, if he wants to, like, Acolyte of Pain, Soundness, Eviscerate, and then he would draw 2 cards next turn just for attacking with his weapon, since Soundness is gonna die, Acolyte of Pain is gonna get 2 damage, and he maybe gets the 2 Shadow Steps to win the game with. That would be super amazing if it works out.
He should go for Acolyte of Pain.
Well, there's 1 card for Alish. So what will happen? You're on 16 HP with 1 card in his hand. Even if it's a Leroy, you're not gonna die. And he even gets the Assassin's Blade. So next turn, that's more and more value if he wants to use it, or just bomb everything on the board he has. Everything would be okay.
So what is he gonna? I think.
Well, if he plays Assassin Blade next turn, he can go Blade Flurry again. So 6 damage in 1 turn possible. Plus Leroy.
But yes,
plus Eviscerate.
Yes, Leroy.
It was Leroy. Attack. It's 9 plus Blade Flurry. It's 12. With Eviscerate, it's 16. So 1 damage more than he needs, plus that 1 Acolyte of Pain roaming around. We get a misdirection, but
He's gonna trigger it with the...
yeah, that's not gonna use anything. Alish is just dead here. This looks like a 2-0 for Via. So an eSuba member losing the first game. This just looks like week 4 incoming.
What? Only because they lost their first match?
Yeah, this is the curse or the spell is broken eSuba used. But as we see, Alish didn't play Zulok or... No, it wasn't Handlock in the first game, it was Druid. So he didn't play Zoo or Handlock, and... Well...
That's what you get for not playing Warlock, buddy.
Well, the good thing is, his minion is dead.
Nice.
So he's gonna get misdirected, but your enemy's down to 14. So if we place Leroy, Selnus... I'm just counting if I reach 14 in total in my brain. You just want to attack first, see what happens. But even with the misdirection, he would have dealt enough damage, but not if he kills his own Selnus. Well, he kills his own Selnus. Is it still? He should be still on. What's Leroy? Well, he has a Shadow Step. I just saw the Shadow Step, so that's enough. I'm just blind. I missed the Shadow Step. Okay. Lethal for the Murker Rogue. Cheer for the Murker Rogue. Applause. Via won 2 times with it. That doesn't mean the deck is bad. It's just we saw so many Murker Rogues recently.
I always like to watch Miracle Rogues. I prefer it over the Sunshine Hunter days, to be honest.
The good thing about Murker Rogue is the deck concept is just so strong. It's a normal deck concept in a TCG or in a CCG. You just draw your whole deck with your combos, so Auctioneer, whatever.
Yeah.
Sometimes you even draw it if you play Sprint, or you can even draw it with your 2 Acolytes of Pain, or with Shiv. You have so many cards to mulligan through, and in the end you end up with 4 cards left, or just with 0 cards left, and you just drew everything, and that's a common concept in TCGs. Just Murker Rogue is the one deck that can do it best. Handlock can do it also really good. There are some, well, you could play a Druid with Auctioneer, Innovates, Moonfires. Just saying you can, but it's not as effective as Miracle Rogue is. That's just crazy. The preparation is so much value to be able to play that spell for 0 cost.
It's not just preparation, it's also Shadow Step that enables him to be that strong, because all the other classes have mana problems at some point. I mean, we know that the Shaman can go for a huge burst with Leroy, Wind Fury, Rockbiter, for example. Or we have the Warlock with his combo with Leroy, Power Overwhelming, Faceless. But it's just, that's 20 damage, and that's a lot of damage. Or for the Shaman, how much is it? 24. But a Rogue has basically infinite potential for damage.
That's correct. So that was our first game. Via won against Alesh. The next game will be Faramir versus Mirari. We're heading into a really quick break. Then we're back with the next game. Looking forward to see you all there.